Good morning, my name is Sandy Kennedy. Welcome to the Sandy Kennedy Marine Motor Museum. We're in Gloucester Pool, which for those of you who don't know, that's South Muskoka, and we're here to tell you about the events coming up in July that are being sponsored by ACBS, Antique and Classic Boat Society Toronto. One of the visits on the Thursday, July 4th, will be here at the Kennedy Museum. We're open to allow people to come see this, and I'd like to invite you in to have a look. Come on in. The idea for this started in around 2000, so about 24 years ago. I'm originally from Prince Edward Island, grew up on the ocean on a chicken farm. The irony of the story is, though, my parents never owned a boat, never owned a canoe, never owned a kayak, but there was always interest. My friends had boats. When I moved up here to Ontario in 1985 and first met Muskoka, got to know Muskoka, I fell in love with it and the motors and the heritage and this classic way of life that exists up here. Come on through. We've got lots of motors here, both inboard motors, outboard motors, of all different descriptions. We've got Altos, we've got early Mercurys, we've got inboard motors, we've got outboard motors, and lots of paraphernalia that goes with it. I enjoy it tremendously, and the first rule of collecting, as a lot of you would know, is if you like what you do, don't buy it because it's a good deal, buy it because the item speaks to you. This motor is one of my special motors that I have. It's a 1962 Merc 1000. First year that factory made a 100 horsepower motor. This is the very first one of any factory. 1962 Mercury Merc 1000 with stacks, or megaphones as we call them in the racing world. First black Mercury motor. They've made black ever since. First 100 horsepower factory motor. And this one's special because it has the racing stacks on it and the racing gear foot on it. This motor would be upset your neighbor type motor. This motor that we're looking at right now is the Truscott twin cylinder. And again, a very early motor. A lot of brass on it. As I mentioned earlier, I call it jewelry. A lot of shiny stuff on it. And again, turns over and still works. If you can hear it. And no clutch, no transmission. Here's how they did the actual going from forward to reverse. There's neutral with the blades flat. There's forward. There's reverse. Variable pitch propeller, very high detail. A lot of machining went into that by someone. But this is very early, again, probably 1905 to 1910. No serial number, so we can't ID it for sure, but definitely is a Truscott motor. And there's a boat similar to what it would have probably went in way back when. So what we have here is another very unique motor. This is a Waterman inboard motor. Cameron Waterman, who actually with the line name Waterman was the founder and owner of the company. Again, very early 1900s, maybe from somewhere between 1905 and 1910. 4 lunger, 4 pistons, 4 cylinder heads, primer cups. Open the primer cups, put gas in each primer cup, suck the gas into the cylinders, close the spigot, and then get down on your hands and knees. This would be in the belly of the boat. Spin the flywheel manually and pray that it starts. No electric start, of course, but very basic, very primitive, but this is exactly as it would have looked from the factory. This is an advertisement for it down here, and it quotes it that it was a whopping 24 horsepower. I think that's an exaggeration. I don't think it was 24 horsepower, but that's what they claim it was from the factory. But 4-cylinder Waterman inboard, turn of the century, very rare, very coveted. You can get them in 1-cylinder versions, you can get them in 2-cylinder versions. This would be the sport or racing version that's 4-cylinder, but I buy most of the cans not because of the significance of what's inside them, but because of the graphics. I like the graphics. And these ones were a few examples of the ones that I've really enjoyed. I've got some others, as you can see around here. Well, as you can appreciate, every motor came in a crate. People would keep the motor when they unpacked it, but they'd fire the crate in the garbage or burn it in the fire. So supply and demand, there's way less crates now than there are motors. The crates are worth as much as the motors, if not more. Supply and demand. And again, some of the packing boxes. Duplex Marine is my favorite type of marine oil. Why? Not because it's good oil, I just like the graphics on the can. Good morning, my name is Sandy Kennedy and this is my boat Nuisance. It's a beautiful sunny day on Gloucester Pool. I'm here to tell you about the Thursday, July 4th ACBS-Toronto event that's being held here on Gloucester Pool. If you have a boat, please come join us on Thursday, July 4th. The boat itself is a 2006 Bill Morgan Hackercraft replica of a 1930s Gold Cup race boat called El Lagarto. Hope you can join us on Thursday, July 4th on Gloucester Pool. Have a great day, folks.